Hey Spartans, just as promised, here is the independent practice we did in class today, and I wanted to give you a few hints, some tutorials, lead you in the right direction and try to help you out with seeing the relationships between the numbers when we're trying to find percent type questions. Now all of these are percents, so we're going to use our table where we have 100 down in the corner. Okay, this situation. In a survey, 400 boys are asked to name their favorite sport. The result showed that 150 of the boys named soccer, as their favorite sport. What percentage of the boys in the survey named soccer as their favorite sport? So in our poster, it says we're going to take the part out of the whole and then the percent out of 100. So if I know the percent, I'm going to put it in this slot automatically over 100. But we're trying to find the percent, so my X goes here. Then we have to decide, is 400 part of the boys or all of the boys? It says 150 chose soccer, so I think 150 is part of the boys that chose soccer out of the 400 boys that were surveyed. So then what I look at is any kind of patterns between 150 and 400. Can 400 get up to 150 or 150 to 400? I don't see that right away. And then from 400 to 100, I see a pattern there. 400 to 100, I can just divide by 4. So then what I would do is take the 150, divide that by 4, and then I would have my percentage. So let me work that out on the side here. 150 divided by 4. Now 4 can't go into 1, so nothing goes above the 1. But 4 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract, I have 3. Bring down the 0. Now I have 30. 4 goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract, I have 2. Now when you have a remainder, here's what you want to do. You're going to put a decimal and bring it up. And then add a 0 and bring that down. So it still equals 150 here, but now I have a better number to work with down here. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So our answer is 37.5%. Now that's not the only way to solve this problem. You could have also taken your 150 and your 400 and reduced it down to 15 and 40. And then through knowing my math facts, I would see what can 15 and 40 both reduce down to? What can they both be divided by? Well, I know 15 and 40 can both be divided by 5. Ooh, it's hard to fit in this little space. Now 15 divided by 5, that gives me 3. And 40 divided by 5, that gives me 8. And that leads me to the benchmark fraction that you should already have memorized through our song and through our notes. 3/8, 0.375. But that's not a percent. That's a decimal. To get it into percent form, I'm going to move it 2 spaces to the right. Whoop, whoop. And I get 37.5, which is the same as our answer, 37.5%. Do you see the little ant running? Go, little ant, go, 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 run away. Okay, next up. Says that the shaded region represents the amount of the auditorium that is full. So this shaded region is full. They want to know what percentage of the auditorium is not full. So they actually want the unshaded region. So since we're looking for a percentage, let's set up our percent proportion table. Excuse me. Okay, so we're looking for the percent out of 100. Now, the part of the auditorium that we're looking for is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are not full out of how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. A 6 by 4, that gives me 24. All right, now we're trying to find the relationship from what we have to what we're looking for, what we don't have. 24 can't go to 100. If it was 25, it could, but 24 doesn't work real well with that. But 24 can go to 6. 24 divided by 4 is 6, because 6 times 4 is 24. Fact family says 24 divided by 4 gives me 6. But can I take 100 and divide it by 4? Yes. And you should know by now that 100 divided into 4 parts equals 25. So our answer, 25% of the auditorium is not full. Like I said, there's always more than one way to answer these types of questions. This 6 and 24 can also reduce down. Let me come down here and do it. 6 and 24 can reduce down. They can both be divided by 6. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. 24 divided by 6 is 4. And then what percent represents 1/4? I hope you're saying 25%, because that's a benchmark fraction that you would already have memorized. Many of these types of questions are going to be your benchmark fractions that I hope you're reading over every night and memorizing. All right, next one. For every 2 cats in an animal shelter, there are 3 dogs. What percent of animals in the animal shelter are dogs? Okay, we're looking for the percent. So let me go ahead and set up my best friend table, trying to find what percent out of 100. Okay, we're looking for the percent that are dogs. How many dogs are there? There are 3 dogs. But it's not 3 dogs out of 2 cats. It's 3 dogs out of, remember, we're looking for the whole amount. How many animals are we talking about here? With 2 cats and 3 dogs, we're talking about 5 animals. Now, 3/5, again, another benchmark fraction you should have already memorized. The fifths are on your hand. Each finger's worth 20, 20, 40, 60. So 3/5 is going to be 60%. Now, however, if you don't remember the benchmark percent, 5 can build to 100. 5 times what is 100? 5 times, remember, it's on your hand. Each finger's worth 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 5 times 20 is going to give me 100. So then what's 3 times 20? 60. Okay, number 4 I said to omit, so we're not going to do this for this part of the unit. It may come back in later. Okay, let's go to 5. Bradley answered 24 of the questions on his math test correctly. There were 30 questions on the test, and all the questions had an equal value. What percent of the questions did Bradley get correct? All right, again, we're looking for a percent. So set up your best friend table. What percent out of 100? Okay, now 24 is the part he got right, so that goes in the top. Out of 30 total questions, that goes in the bottom. So in this situation, can 30 times something build up to 100? 30 times 3 is 90. 30 times 4 is 120, so no. And then 30 and 24, that relationship isn't working out very easily either. So what we're going to do is try to reduce 24 and 30. So through your fact families, through your multiplication facts, excuse me, I know that 24 and 30 can both be divided by 6. And if you don't know it can be divided by 6, look, you can also divide it by 2, and you would get 12 out of 15. And then 12 and 15 can both be divided by 3, and that gives you 4 out of 5. And oh look, it's a benchmark percent, and it's out of the 5s. It's on your hand. 20, 40, 60, 80. 4 out of 5, 80%. Here's a little hint. If you can divide by 2 and divide by 3, well then you can divide by 6. Just so you know. Alright, number 6. Speaking of 6. Jake bought a bicycle on sale for 30% off the original price. If the original price of the bicycle is $240, How much will Jake pay for the bike? Ooh, this is a grown-up question. Got to go buy a bike. All right, they gave us 30%. So the percent, if they give it to you, automatically goes over the 100. Now what we have to do is identify, did they give us the part or the total? They said the original price of the bike is $240. How much will he pay for the bike? So what we're trying to find out is the 30% off. So we're trying to find out how much did he get off out of $240 total. Excuse me. All right, so 130 aren't compatible and 140 aren't compatible. But what you can do when you have a double zero like this, divide them both by 10 and you get 3 and 10. Now 10 can go to 240. See, if you take a number and divide by 10, the decimal moves back 1, canceling that 0 out. Decimal moves back 1, canceling that 0 out. Now, if you lose a 0 dividing by 10, what do you do to gain a 0? You times 10. So what number times 10 is going to give me 240? I hope you say times 24. 24 times 10 is 240. So what I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. I'm going to take 24 times 3. So let's work it out. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So his 30% discount is $72. But wait, they didn't ask for the discount. Oh, no, no, no. They asked, how much did he pay for the bike? Did he pay full price? No. Did he pay the discount that he got off the bike? No. He paid the discounted price, which means we got to take this $240 minus the $72 discount and see what we get. All right. Borrow from the 4, it becomes a 3. 10 minus 2 is 8. Borrow from the 2, it becomes a 1. 13 minus 7 is 6, and then you bring the 1 down. So how much did he pay for the bike? $168. Excuse me. Okay, next question. Of the 25 cats at the Houston SPCA, only 5 are female. What percent of the cats are male? They give us the female, then they ask for the males. So you got to be careful when you read and make sure you're getting what they're asking for. All right, of the 25 cats, that means there's 25 total cats. What percent out of 100? Now I'm going to show you both ways to do this. One, we could use the female 5. Now, how does 25, oops, switch colors. How does 25 get to 100? That's by timesing by 4. So what's 5 times 4? That is 20. So 20% are the female. Then I could take that, subtract it from 100, and know that 80% are male. Here's the other way to solve this problem. Instead of using these 5 female cats, if 5 are female, I hope the other 20 out of 25 would be male. Is what percent out of 100? So just like we did before, to get from 25 to 100, you times it by 4. And what's 20 times 4? 80%. All right. 2 more to go, and I'm about to lose my voice. Yay! Maine has one of the lowest tax rates in the country. This is true. If an item costs $40, you would pay $2 in sales tax. What percent of sales tax will you pay? So since we're trying to find the percent, I put the X over the 100. Now I know the tax is $2 out of the total cost of 40. 2 out of 40. Now, 40 can't go to 100. 40, 80, 120, so it's not going to work. But 40 can go down to 2 by dividing by 20. Then you would take 100 divided by 20. Or if you like, you can reduce 2 and 40 down to some smaller numbers. They can both be divided by 2. And I get 1 over 20. And if you like, how does 20 get to 100? Times 5. So what's 1 times 5? 5. And that would be 5%. Even if I took 100 and divided by 20 going this direction. Divide by 20, I get 2. 40 divided by 20 is 2. And 100 divided by 20 is 5. So a lot of times there's going to be more than one way to answer these questions. What you need to pick is what stands out to you and what makes sense with you on this situation. All right, next one, number 9. Monica bought a new jacket that was 40% off. I know where that goes. 40 out of 100. Off the original price. If the discount was 24, now is discount the part or the whole jacket? It's the part. What was the original price? The original price is the whole jacket, the whole amount. Okay, now 40 and 24, no. 40 and 100, no. So then I look to see, can I reduce? I'm seeing these zeros here. And divide by 10, divide by 10. Now I've got 4 tenths. Now, can 4 go to 24? Times 6. And what's 10 times 6? That would equal 60. Now, it's not a percent. It's 60 what? It's a price. So it's $60 jacket, $24 discount. Wow, that's cheap. That's going to be, let's see, 60 minus 20 is 40, and then minus 4. That's a $36 jacket. What a deal. Okay, kids, I hope this helps. I'll answer any questions you have about it tomorrow. Have a nice night. 16-minute, 40